Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ and it's Trashcraft Tuesday time. I am back working with the contents of Christmas crackers. We're not too far out from Christmas that it still has some relevancy, and in this particular Christmas cracker was a little jigsaw puzzle, and this is actually not from 2022, this is from 2021. My mother-in-law has a bin that all the Christmas paper normally goes in, and in this last Christmas I says I wanted all the paper, so she pulled out the bin and gave me everything out of the bin from the previous Christmas, and this puzzle was one of the things. And I was just grabbed it out this morning ready to do the video and thought I'm just going to put it together first just so I do a little jigsaw, and I found there's a piece missing, which is perfectly fine. I had intended to use each of the pieces individually to make something, but I realized if it had have been intact it would be a really nice feature to pop in a little envelope to go inside a Christmas journal. So I don't have any jigsaw puzzles from this year's crackers, but maybe there's other little jigsaw puzzles out of some sort of promotional thing, or a little children's one or something. This is really thin, which is what appealed to me too, if you tucked it in just as a little fun extra into a journal that you're making. But this one's not complete, so that idea is off the table. And so I thought, looking at it, I really liked this bottom section here, and it's a Christmas theme, so I thought I don't want to use these individually on things that are not going to be Christmas related. So on the rest of the puzzle it's mostly blue with snowflakes, and there's a few Christmas baubles on this piece and a little stocking on this bit. But apart from that, it's kind of generic, it could go anywhere. But this is very particular Christmas themed with the reindeer and Santa on the sleigh. And so I thought, for this particular part, what if I used that as my focal image on a journaling card? And I like the fact that it sort of shows its puzzle pieces. I don't know, does it look a bit weird? I'm going to play with it anyway. So I've just grabbed out one of my glue pages here that I've folded in half, and I'm going to start with just collaging the background. So just hunting here for my bag of scraps. Where have I put them? They're half hidden by the curtain, so it doesn't make it easy to grab them. And I'm thinking sort of, because this is blue, I'm thinking along those lines. This is a bit of magazine paper image, so I'm just going to start with that. And the tricky part will be getting the jigsaw puzzle glued down all in correct place and nicely together, not sort of weird gaps or anything. So let's just start with this. That's another scrap of, oops. This is a little scrap of an envelope that I received in Happy Mail a number of years ago now, and I think the colours will work well. So let's pop that down, and I've been using this envelope for a long time, little bits of it, and I think this may be, not positive, but I think this might be the last little scrap of it. It's been lots and lots of fun. It's had really beautiful colours. I've got this other, perhaps don't want so much yellow. Let's pop that down. So I'm just using up little scraps here, just sort of what I can find and put my hands on. I might grab over my pottle of very small scraps actually, see if I can use up some of those. So it's just at the top of my desk, so excuse me reaching. So let's see what might be in here. This is a scrap of one of my digitals. It's available on Patreon. It was one of my Christmas ones, December ones. Oh, the frog's back. Croak, croak. Right, that, and what else? Oh, here's a bit of purpley blue. Oops, 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 oops. Oh, it's gone flying. So obviously it doesn't want to be used on this. Oh, I found another scrap of this envelope I said that I was using the last of. This might be the last bit. Who knows? Maybe I'll find a bit more tucked away somewhere. Let's pop that there. I feel like there's something sitting at the back of my throat. I do apologise. It's awful. I feel like I can't talk properly. There's a little bit of blue polka dot. Just throw that in there for a bit of fun. I'm not worried about these white edges. That's all part of the look for me. Here's a little bit of gingham, blue gingham. Pop that in there. And I'm not worrying about straight edges because mostly they will be covered up. Because I've got this wee gap here, so that straight edge is going to end up covered. Right, let's put this bit on, but I will take off that straight edge for this bit. And let's go down there. So I'm not thinking too much about this. I'm just grabbing colours that sort of all work together, mostly in the blue range, and slapping them down. So hopefully this is an inspiring Trashcraft Tuesday for you. Whether you've got a little puzzle or not, you can use any jigsaw puzzle pieces and use them in similar ways as what I'm going to use them today. So this is my first of 2 projects with the puzzle pieces. And this is just a bit of the inside of an envelope. Must have come from overseas, this one, because it's not an envelope interior that I've seen here in New Zealand. Another bit of that to put up here. Yeah, it must be from overseas because I see on the address side it's got New Zealand. And when we are sending mail inside our own country, we don't usually add the country name to the address. So that's a good clue that it's from overseas. Right, one more little gap there. And what about this bit? So again, I'm going to take off straight edges because it's going to be on top like that. My glue page is already getting very gluey over here on the left hand side of me. There we go. So there's our collaged base. Now I'm going to trim this excess off, and I still need to do the back, so cover the back with some writing paper. Okay, that's tidied that up. And this isn't quite glued down properly because it's just glued with the residue of having been used as a glue page. So I'm just going to go in with my tacky glue and just glue down the edges a bit better. I could sew it, but just in case I decide not to, or I forget or something, I'm just going to add a bit of glue. I don't know if you can see this or whether my hand's obscuring. Just making sure those edges are nice and closed, so that it doesn't matter if it never gets sewn, and I suspect it won't. I do like the sewn look, but often I don't, because it's not easy to set up my sewing every time, and I want to wait until I've got a specific project or lots of it to do, and yeah, so often don't sew. I can't wait till I've got the ability to set up my sewing machine permanently, so that I can just go there and do it whenever I feel like it. Right, I'm just going to grab a bit of this painter's masking paper, and I'm going to cover the back with this as the writing paper. Just going to tear a piece off. Hopefully you don't mind that sound. I happen to absolutely love that tearing paper sound. I think it's just a very happy sound. But you may not find this, and I do apologise if you don't enjoy that sound. Right, just going to get rid of my paper for a moment, so I'm not working in such a clutter. About, yeah. Right, there we go. So, switch out my glue page. See, and this is what I do. Once it's got all sticky, I fold it in half and pop it in a bag to use as a base, like I'm using with this one. I've got quite a lot, so I'm not really saving them at the moment. But sometimes if I've used one, then I might save the next one that I create. And sort of end up keeping a sort of similar number in stock, if you like. Right, so let's pop this down. Sorry about the noise of my ruler rattling there. Didn't want to stop my gluing process to take care of it. Okay, a little bit wrinkly, it's all good. Don't be afraid of texture. Texture is just an added wonderful tactile quality to your journal ephemera or whatever you're making. Right, didn't get it quite lined up, so just trim off that little overhang and we're good to go. Oops, except that's now stuck to my finger. Get off there. Right, finally got it off. Okay, now for our puzzle pieces. So, do I want anything underneath them? What else might I like to add to it? Oops. Very hard to pick it up in one piece without it falling apart. Right, so I need to put it back together just so I can visualize how it might look. It could almost be another little pocket, but I'm not going to do that. Just going to take some of my coffee while I think. I think I want a bit of music paper. Grab out my scraps of texty bits and pieces. It's got some pencil marks on it, which is fine. I'm just thinking to make it kind of sit on the music might be kind of fun. Just to give it like a groundedness or something. Yeah, I like that. And I think I'm going to, I did find my sponge, oops, and I've just noticed it's covered in cat fur, that I dropped yesterday in yesterday's video. It hadn't gone too far, but it was sitting under my vibration board, under the desk. So yeah, I retrieved it very quickly and easily after the video, but I didn't check it for any fluff. Obviously I haven't used it since I picked it up off the floor, and it's got cat fur and bits of stuff. Obviously you need to vacuum. It's a never-ending job when you've got cats, so we don't probably do it as often as what we should, because it's just like, especially during molting season, like summer, spring, summer, they're all molting, and it's just, no matter how much you brush them or anything, it's just you turn around and they've got more on fur they're losing. So it's just a constant. Wouldn't have it any other way though. They're our babies. Right, so there we've got our music down. And I think I just like that, over top, just like that. So I am going to use my tacky glue. And there's no way I'm going to manage to get it all down all at once. So do one at a time. And just kind of work out where I was going to place it. So about there. And hope it's straight. Actually, I might grab my ruler. It's not really helping because I can't, there's not enough space to see the edge of the ruler and the edge of the card. So let's just hope and pray that it's straightish. And if I do it quickly enough, then I might still have a little bit of wiggle room to move it around if it's not quite straight. So I'll just get these 3 pieces on and then check to see whether it's straight enough. Oops, it's not quite. Give it a little quick adjustment, and I think that's not too bad. Let's go with that. So I think it's still slightly off, but not by much. But that first piece that had already stuck down is already kind of set in place. Not wanting to move a heck of a lot. Right, make sure I glue them in the right order. We don't want the disembodied head from the reindeer. That would not be a good look. So how's everybody's week going? Of course, Tuesday. Today it's not looking so flash outside. It's not, well, not really cold, but it's very sort of dull and what I would say a disappointing summer day. Like it's not really doing anything. It's not promising heat of any description. Not really, not by the look of it. I haven't been outside though, so I don't know what temperature is outside, but it is on the cool side inside, which is not unusual for our house until the sun comes around in the afternoon. Right, yes, slightly crooked, but that's okay. Right, so I'm going to leave that one there. I am going to round the corners though. This could also be a pocket, like even though I've backed it with paper, you could still use it as a pocket, or a journaling card. So I've given myself the option of when I come to do a Christmas journal later this year that I can use it whichever way I decide is necessary. And that didn't cut through that masking paper on the back, so I'm just going to trim that off. Paper's obviously too light for it to have punched through. Here we go. So could add a word or a label or something else to that, and I think I will, but I don't have anything printed off or available at the moment that's Christmas related. I've put all my Christmas stuff away. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So there's one idea for a little puzzle that comes out of a Christmas cracker as a journaling card or pocket. Right, just going to tidy this up for a second and move on to the second project. Actually, I think I might keep that little scrap out. Okay, so the second thing to do with these is probably not a new one to you, is making little clusters. And that's why I thought I'd keep out this bit of music paper. I'm just going to rub out the pencil marks that have been made on it whenever that was done. It's old sheet music, so so let's go with perhaps this plain blue one and layer up a few bits and pieces. So still got my pottle of little scraps here. And I'm just going to make a few little puzzle clusters that can be used to decorate whatever you like. So I'm just grabbing random bits here. Be good to use some of these scraps out of my pottle. Is rather full. A bit of pink under that one. Actually, if I use that one, then I can put maybe this one with the red on it over here. And this one I'd probably use for Christmas as well because it's got the baubles, which is fine. You can use clusters at Christmas too. This is another little bit of envelope. And I'm just layering things up and having a look. And then when I'm satisfied, then I'll put them all together. Just randomly arranging. Bit of fun. Actually, might grab this other bit. Might work in under there. Yep. Okay, so these are the two pieces. Let's work on those. So this is all straight, so I'm going to snip it instead of tearing it. And I'm using the puzzle piece as the focal point, if you like, on top. You could add something else on top as well. So I'm just having a play. That's what good Trash Craft Tuesday, having a play. Right, and I think that's it. So all I need to do now is grab my stapler. My stapler's been playing up, so hopefully it works okay today. It's like it staples every second one okay, and then it decides it's not going to staple. So let's go ahead and see. And you don't have to staple these. You could glue them, you could sew them, but just for ease, for speed, for getting the job done, I'm just stapling them. And I don't mind the added sort of texture interest on the page. Oh, we're away stapling. Great. This is awesome. Love it when my tools work properly. Oh, spoke too soon. Yeah, seems like the staples are breaking off at the end. And that could be the issue, but I don't know why they're breaking off. So they shouldn't be. That one didn't staple properly. Now it's jammed or something. Just when I thought I was going great guns. Oh, it's really stuck in there. Come on. Sorry, gonna reach again and grab my tweezers and see if I can get out that staple. There we go. Now let's try, oh, there's another one. There's actually two there. Oh, three. Okay. Let's try this again. Tools. Tools, when they work well, are brilliant. Right, there we go. So we've got a few marks in there where it didn't work properly. That'll be okay. They don't call them junk journals for nothing. Not that they're really junky. There we go. So after our little mishap with the stapler, we got there. Sometimes speed is not all it's cracked up to be when things go wrong. So we've got our little clusters here, ready to decorate up anything, a pocket, a page, a tag, anything you like. Maybe I'll grab out something if I can. Just give me a moment. I know that's quite a loud noise opening the container. It's got very good seals on it. So here's a completed piece of ephemera, which is a little, I did this on video a week or so back. Little fold out journaling spot. But just for example, we could pop a little cluster. We could even use it as a closure for like the tuck it under the cluster. We could decorate up the top of it. What else have I got in here? I think this is all pockets in this container. Oh, here's a belly band. So like decoration on a belly band. Here's another pocket which isn't decorated. So, you know, pop it on the corner of a pocket or something. So lots of different ways you can use it. These little clusters, just to give you some ideas if you're not familiar with these types of little clusters. So there we go. So they're all similar colors because of the puzzle that I was working with was all the blue base, and so I went with that, and then a little bit of pink here, a little bit of purple. There's our clusters. And what did I do with my card? Here's my journaling card made with the rest of the puzzle. So there we go. Hopefully you've had a few ideas from this on what to do with jigsaw puzzle pieces. Either maybe you've got one that's old, that's lost some pieces, or the kids no longer want or something, or you picked up at a thrift store, or maybe one like this that's out of a Christmas cracker. Bear in mind, this is a thin puzzle coming out of a cracker, so if you have a traditional puzzle that's thicker, you probably want to glue rather than staple, because it might be too thick for the staples to go through. And they also make great mixed media bases too. So I just treated these very simply because they're light, and I don't think they'd stand up all that well to kind of like wet media. But you could totally go mixed media on puzzle pieces with paint and glitter and whatever you feel inspired to do. So I've kept it fairly simple. Let it be a springboard for you and have some fun. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.